So I'm hyperventilating a little bit. If I fall over, pick me up because I've got some things to say.
Some of the things mentioned in this video don't just apply to K-pop, but since that's kind of my thing here on this channel, clearly we're talking about Korean pop music and all the sugar and spice and everything nice that comes with being a K-pop stan. I asked you guys on my Instagram to tell me things wrong with K-pop fans, and you guys gave me some delicious materials to work with. You guys always keep me on check. So with that being said, grab something to sip on. I here have strawberry lemonade. It slaps, but it's not actual tea because, fun fact, I actually hate tea. It's so disgusting. Isn't that crazy? You guys really don't know that much about me, do you? I don't tell y'all a lot. Tea. Anyways, let's begin. First up, we have fans bashing other fans. There's unfortunately so much that can be said about this one, but basically it's no surprise that K-pop fans can be insensitive and sometimes inhumane towards other fans. For example, when they hate new fans, which always has me thinking, wouldn't you want more people to know about the act you are so in love with? There's no need for competition, and no one cares that you've been into K-pop since you were like in the 3rd grade. Or when fans hate fans who don't have albums, merch, tickets, or don't know some songs, it's like you have no idea what people are going through financially, or maybe they're foreigners and just don't have access to that kind of stuff. You just never know. Or when fans try and force their faves onto others without realizing that not everyone has the same taste, which is completely fine. The list can go on and on. And of course we have the fan wars. People were begging me not to make a BTS vs EXO video because they thought it would ignite World War III, which is absolutely ridiculous. I genuinely think fans start fan wars out of boredom because they don't have a strong social life, which results in them going online to talk crap, basically. Even if it just means to talk to someone in general or feel a part of something, it's just a bunch of people that sit on their phones or computers and attack people. I imagine the individuals that participate in fan wars look like this in real life. Pretty normal, I guess. If this isn't the most depressing or concerning thing about our generation, please feel free to let me know what is in the comments down below. Next we have extreme shipping. This one has gotten out of hand, but I mainly just leave this alone because it's not really causing too many problems in the fandom, but I just find it so unnecessary and cringy because some of the idols y'all ship have absolutely no connection to each other except maybe they breathe the same air at like an award show or something, or like they made eye contact one time and someone happened to get it on video and boom, a new ship has been born. But don't get me wrong, some ships that have like legit logical reasoning behind them, like Yeri and Jinhwan or Jungkook and IU, maybe even Daragon, but like it can be cute for a minute, but don't make it a whole thing. Next up we have K-pop stan Twitter. Now I'm making this a whole category because K-pop stan Twitter is a dark place I refuse to step foot into for many reasons. It's like the hell of the K-pop fandom. Once you're in, you can't get out, or at least it's really hard to get out, but you can't get out of hell, can you? I know Dante made it out, right? I don't know. Anyways, I like to think that people that join K-pop Twitter don't start out being completely unbearable towards one another, but I think after they see something that triggers them, they like to go in and share their opinion, unaware that it's adding to the problem and creating like a ripple effect of negativity. It's not okay and it's very unhealthy to sit on an app and talk shit about people. And I hate that day by day it's becoming more okay to dehumanize others on Twitter by letting out your teen angst or inner anger onto them. It's funny because like 99% of the time, these toxic K-pop Twitter accounts will never reveal their true identities. It's always like some @ name and like the profile picture is like an idol. This just shows how fake this culture of shit talking online really is, because I can promise you these users would not say half the stuff they say online to people face to face in real life, because all the interactions I've had with K-pop fans in my real life have been nothing shy of positive. But then you go onto Twitter and online and it's like a whole other story. What I think people fail to realize is that behind each Twitter user is a whole person out there in the world, with feelings and jobs and families and purposes, with responsibilities, and for you to tell them to kill themselves or choke or die or suffer over a K-pop group is highly concerning towards your character and who you are as a person. I really hope that you think twice about what you put on Twitter, because I can promise you, you will regret it. Because how is being the cause of so much negativity and anger something that makes you feel good? Those two just don't match up unless you're a psychopath. Maybe you are a psychopath. Then a lot would make sense about this situation. But you are defined by your actions towards others, not others' actions towards you. Be the bigger person always. Even though it's the harder route to go down, I'm sure of that, the benefits in the end are much more rewarding. Help the problem, don't add to the problem. I go on Twitter to be entertained and to laugh, not to see these fans talk shit about my bias groups and about each other. Number 4 is territorial or possessive fans. The baseline of this problem is jealousy. It's when stans hate other stans for having the same bias as them. I even experienced this a couple times myself. It's like these fans think that their faves belong to them. It's a very weird way of thinking, and truly it's embarrassing. Like, why would you openly admit to being so obsessive over a person you are never going to have a relationship with? So why would it matter if someone likes them? It's not that serious. I recommend keeping your fantasies or what have you in your head, or else you're just gonna look whack. Number 5 is idolism. This is when fans put idols on pedestals and consider them flawless superhumans. I know it's easy for us to think this way because of the structure of the industry and how it focuses on idols being these untouchable, perfect angels, which I mean, come on, they are. Not really. But in all seriousness, I shouldn't even have to say that that's simply not the case with idols. I don't know about y'all, but I think it's weird to think that idols are people just like me and you. They cry, have mental breakdowns, get sick, stress out, lose people they love, they're self-conscious, they have panic attacks, experience drama, and much more. But we have to somewhat understand this concept as fans, and unfortunately, a lot of fans don't understand it. So that's why I'm here, man. Just out here doing the Lord's work. It's fine. Anyways, fans can be so demanding and completely forget about an idol's health and well-being. Just like us, idols need to rest and have breaks. Being famous, I can imagine, is very stressful, especially for K-pop stars. If y'all remember, which honestly, how could you forget? When Jisoo fell in the Doo 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 music video, when she suddenly gets up, all the cameras are focused onto her. This perfectly shows idolism and how quickly people are to turn on them when these idols mess up or do anything remotely wrong. Number 6 are trendy fans. Now, someone put this on my Instagram and I was like, yes, that is so on point. So basically what I mean by this is fans who think they are trendy or edgy or different for listening to K-pop. And they like to rub it in everyone's faces. This is something that gives K-pop stans a bad rep in general, that they're arrogant and cocky. Number 7, fans that are rude to idols and groups. We see this a lot in this fandom. I think we can all agree that it's hard to click on any sort of K-pop related video these days without someone talking shit about an idol or group or whatever, because apparently everyone thinks that the words they spew onto the internet don't mean anything, but that's not the case in any form. Body shaming is such a common theme. We also see when fans hate a specific member of the group and are very vocal about it, and they question why they're in the group in the first place. That's like removing Sana from Twice. It's a completely different group without just one member. It's hard for me to even imagine Twice without one of the girls, yet sadly people do it all the time. I also see K-pop fans hating on groups who are successful, simply because they're successful. I don't know if y'all realize this already. Hating on popular or mainstream things doesn't make you unique or cool. It makes you look ignorant. Or when people say, oh my god, she's such a bitch, or why does she look so bossy or stuck up? But then the same people will turn around and say how dominating and sexy he looks with his glares, or how he just looked so confident on stage. It has me thinking, like, since when has being a hypocrite been cute? Oh, and we can't forget when K-pop fans hate and single out idols because they're darker, or not Korean, or they in some way stand out in the group. It's like, just go home, man. Go home. Get some sleep, read a book, find God, talk to someone, get help, I don't know. All I can say is that I genuinely feel bad that you think this seriously about something so minimal in the grand scheme of things. Number 8 are Korea boos. If you want to hear me talk more about Korea boos, well, you're in luck because I made an entire video about them, so please don't hesitate to click the link in my bio if you want to hear that shit show. Number 10 is that fandoms in general can be like a disease. The structure of the K-pop fandom is completely out of whack, and fans are attacking left and right over what I would consider stupid things. Because the problem is that everyone thinks they're right, and anyone who even thinks the slightest from them is wrong, which goes against every lesson ever taught in the education system. But okay, please, if you're listening, stay in school. Who thought people would legitimately be arguing about who's more popular in the West? Why is that even a thing? Who cares? Like, why can't you just love your ults without having to bring other people into this equation? Do y'all gonads know how you look to everyone? Do you realize how ridiculous you sound? Like, I was watching all the army and citizen shit go down the other day. Like, are y'all serious? Like, is this actually happening? Meanwhile, there are so many other issues in this world that are 100% more relevant and important than the shit y'all infuse energy into. But okay, I'll just sit over here happily sipping my strawberry lemonade in the shade while y'all go to war. Number 11 are sasaengs. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but sasaengs are obsessive fans who take everything completely next level, like hidden cameras, they harm themselves, they harass idols' family members, they send creepy gifts, stalking culture, break into dorms, stealing idols' belongings, etc. A good example of sasaengs are when idols get bombarded at airports or outside shows, in public, whatever. They have zero respect for idols as human beings, and I'm not even sure they consider them humans after all. I don't know a lot about sasaengs, but I do know that I take the term very seriously. Invading privacy on any level is wrong and should never be justified. I don't care how much you love them, girl or boy. They don't belong to you, and that's just something you're gonna have to accept as a fan. Now, I'm sure I didn't cover everything, but I do hope I got the basics down. I'm obviously an advocate for people being vocal about their opinions, but what it comes down to is thinking of how others would feel about the words leaving your mouth and how you could be offending people. No matter what, always stand up for what you believe in by respectfully giving people an explanation. Hopefully, after watching this, you can understand why we are an overall problematic fandom to a lot of outsiders looking in, and vice versa. But we're better than this. We still have so much time and potential to improve as a fandom and to treat fellow stans and idols with dignity and respect, because I can promise you, they deserve it.